India operates as a demographic engine on a scale of a continent. Within its borders live more people than anywhere else on Earth, divided across 28 states. It is the birthplace of 4 major world religions, and its citizens speak over 780 distinct languages. When you consider that sheer density, the political gravity to hold it all together seems impossible. On paper, a society fractured across so many linguistic and religious fault lines should pull itself apart. To understand how this massive republic actually stays intact, you cannot look at it from the top down. You have to start at the absolute smallest unit of society and watch how it builds outward. Indian culture isn't a monolithic structure imposed by a central authority. It's a bottom-up framework, stitched together entirely by daily, repetitive habits of a billion individuals. That foundation starts in the home. For generations, the prevailing arrangement has been the joint family. In this system, grandparents, parents, children, and spouses all share a single roof, guided by a patriarchal or matriarchal head. However, modern realities are forcing a structural shift. The rising cost of living and the rapid urbanization of major cities are actively breaking apart this joint model, accelerating a transition towards smaller, nuclear households. Yet the daily interpersonal customs inside these homes remain anchored in ancient philosophy. Take the standard greeting, namaste. Derived from Sanskrit, it translates literally to "I bow to you," carrying an instruction to recognize and respect the divine within the person standing across from you. This chart breaks down a traditional thali plate, revealing that the Indian kitchen is actually an edible historical record. A single meal might feature rice introduced by ancient Austroasiatic farmers, combined with indigenous spices, and prepared using techniques imported by migrating Mughal and Arab traders. The dining table demonstrates a capability that defines the entire subcontinent, the ability to absorb massive waves of external influence without losing its foundational identity. Stepping outside the home, the neighborhood relies on a dense calendar of massive public celebrations to act as social glue. During events like Diwali, Eid, or Christmas, religious demographics frequently overlap. Neighbors from entirely different faith backgrounds participate in shared civic joy, using the festivals to reinforce local community bonds. These gatherings also serve as the stage for classical performing arts. Mediums like shadow puppetry and street theater operate as vital transmission mechanisms, passing down ancient stories to the next generation in real time. You can see this clearly in classical dances like Bharatanatyam. The performer uses a highly specific vocabulary of hand gestures and facial expressions. The dance acts as a living library, physically encoding the moral lessons of foundational epics like the Ramayana and the Mahabharata. These local festivals and classical arts serve as the primary cultural operating systems. They keep millennia-old moral codes alive and unified across diverse regions. This map reveals a massive geographic division. The north speaks Indo-Aryan languages, while the south speaks ancient Dravidian languages. Despite this deep barrier, the region synthesized a cohesive cultural engine, projecting massive influence outward into the broader globe. Over centuries, India exported concepts that shaped human history. They exported Buddhism, the physical disciplines of yoga, foundational mathematical principles, and games like chess. Today, that export mechanism takes the form of cinema. Hubs like Bollywood and Tollywood produce thousands of films, operating as the largest ticket-selling engine worldwide. India's macro culture is characterized by its heavy gravitational pull and an ongoing capacity to continuously export its innovative ideas to the rest of the world. When you stack up all of this micro to macro diversity, a glaring question emerges. Why does the outside world consistently try to reduce India to a single, easily definable stereotype? Nobel laureate Amartya Sen observed that Western observers frequently view the subcontinent through specific, limited lenses. They tend to take an exorcistic approach, fixating on the wondrous and strange, or a curatorial approach, attempting to neatly classify and record the population. These lenses fail because they try to force a messy, dynamic continent into a neat box of ancient mysticism or rigid hierarchy. Indian culture is the continuous act of synthesis itself. It is a process that integrates diverse religions, languages, and aesthetics into a singular, evolving framework. It is a 4,000-year-old process of absorbing arriving influences, digesting them, and weaving them together with ancient indigenous traditions to generate something new. To understand Indian culture is to recognize the world's oldest continuous experiment in diversity. It proves that a society absolutely does not need to be uniform in order to stay united.